I'm going to tell you a story while I share with you the process of making my ceramic panda plate, as well as some other things inspired by Hope, the friendly panda. There once was a panda who carried rain in their chest. Not the loud kind, not thunder, not lightning, just a steady gray drizzle that followed them quietly from room to room. Their name was Hope. Hope lived in a small warm kitchen with wide windows. In the mornings, light poured in like honey. On good days, Hope would sit by the window with a bowl of fruit and feel the sun on their fur. On harder days, the light felt far away, like it belonged to someone else. If you looked at Hope from across the room, you might think everything was fine. They smiled politely. They showed up when they could. They said, "I'm okay," in a voice that almost sounded convincing, but inside the rain kept falling. Depression is strange like that. It doesn't always look like tears. Sometimes it looks like being very, very tired. Sometimes it looks like unfinished dishes. Sometimes it looks like staring at a wall because choosing what to do next feels heavier than lifting a mountain. Hope knew that weight. There were mornings when getting out of bed felt like swimming upward through deep water. Their limbs felt slow. Their thoughts felt foggy. Even brushing their fur felt like too much. On those days, Hope would whisper just one small thing. Not fix everything, not be happy, just one small thing. Sometimes that one small thing was opening the curtains. Sometimes it was drinking a glass of water. Sometimes it was simply sitting up, and sometimes it was painting. Hope kept a stack of simple ceramic plates in the cupboard. Blank, smooth, quiet. They liked how the surface waited without judgment. The plate didn't ask questions. It didn't demand explanations. It just held space. On the hardest afternoon of all, when the rain inside felt especially steady, Hope took out a plate and placed it on the table. They dipped their brush into soft black paint first. The familiar curves of panda ears. The gentle oval around the eyes. Slow strokes, nothing rushed. As the brush moved, something shifted. Not everything, not all at once, but a tiny shift. Because painting didn't require Hope to be cheerful. It didn't require them to get over it. It only required one stroke at a time, and that they could manage. Hope decided the panda on the plate would look a little tired, a little soft around the eyes, not exaggerated, not dramatic, just honest, because sadness doesn't always scream. Sometimes it simply rests there, quiet and persistent. As the face formed, Hope thought about how often they felt alone in the rain, how they scrolled past bright smiles online and wondered why joy seemed easier for everyone else. But Hope didn't see what none of us can easily see, were the other pandas behind other windows, carrying their own quiet weather. Depression can be convincing. It tells you you're the only one. You're falling behind. You're too much. You're not enough. Hope had heard those whispers too. But that afternoon, as they painted a tiny green bamboo leaf near the panda's paw, they remembered something their friend once said. Feelings are real, but they aren't final. The rain was real. The heaviness was real. But it wasn't the whole sky. Hope added the smallest detail next. A faint golden halo of sunlight behind the panda's head. Not bright, not blinding, just a suggestion, a reminder. Because depression often steals color first. It dulls the world, it softens contrasts, it makes everything feel muted. So Hope made a quiet decision. If the world felt gray, they would paint color anyway. Not because they felt like it, but because they deserved to see it. As the plate slowly filled, something else began to fill too. An awareness that surviving the day was not a failure, that resting was not laziness, that needing help did not mean weakness. Hope remembered the days they had reached out, the text that simply said, "Are you free?" The appointment they almost canceled but didn't, the prayer whispered in the dark. None of those moments cured the rain, but they opened a window, and fresh air matters. If you've ever felt the steady drizzle Hope carries, you know how loud silence can be, how exhausting it is to pretend you're fine, how brave it is to admit you're not. Bravery doesn't always look like roaring. Sometimes it looks like painting while your hands feel heavy. Sometimes it looks like staying. Sometimes it looks like breathing slowly until the wave passes. Hope finished the panda's eyes last. They made them soft, reflective, not sparkling with forced joy, just steady. Because healing isn't always a dramatic transformation. Sometimes it's simply choosing to remain. When the plate was complete, Hope held it up to the window. The afternoon light caught the glaze. The panda's quiet expression seemed to say, "I see you." Not the polished version, not the productive version, not the smiling for everyone version, you. The one who is tired, the one who tries anyway, the one who feels deeply. Depression may bring rain, but pandas are built for weather. Their thick fur keeps them warm. Their sturdy paws keep them grounded. They move slowly, deliberately, conserving energy for what matters. There is no shame in moving slowly. There is no shame in needing rest. There is no shame in asking for help when the rain turns into a storm. Hope placed the finished plate on the table and sat beside it. The rain inside had not disappeared, but it had softened. And sometimes that is enough for one day. If you are carrying rain right now, imagine Hope sitting across from you. No pressure, no fixing, just quiet companionship. Imagine them sliding this painted plate towards you and saying, "You are not broken, you are weathering, and weather changes, even if slowly, even if gently, even if one breath stroke at a time." Thank you for joining me. I hope this comforted you and lifted your spirits. Stay tuned for more of this, as well as products inspired by my characters.